Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the unit and dimension, which is the first chapter of this engineering physics. So after going through this chapter, the students are able to understand about all these things. What is the physical quantity? What is fundamental quantity? What is derived quantity? Dimension and dimensional formula, principle of homogeneity, and the system of units. So these are very important of this chapter. So now we are going to discuss about what is a physical quantity. Actually, what is a physical quantity? The quantity which can be measured and the law of physics can be expressed by these quantities are known as a physical quantity. Clear? The quantities which can be measured and the law of physics can be expressed by these quantities are known as the physical quantity. For example, suppose weight. The weight is measured. Suppose volume. Volume is measured. That means it's a physical quantity. Suppose anyone tell you to measure the beauty of sky. Can you measure? We are unable to measure the beauty of sky. We are unable to measure the love. We are unable to measure the affection, emotion. That means these quantities are not the physical quantities because we are unable to measure this quantity. We are unable to measure the beauty of sky. That's why it's not a physical quantity. Rather, we are able to measure the length. We are measured to able the volume. That's why these are the physical quantity. So now we again physical quantities are of two types. What are those? One is a fundamental quantity, another is a derived quantity. Physical quantity basically two types, fundamental and derived. So now we discuss what is a fundamental quantity. Actually, there are 7 fundamental quantities. What are those? Your mass, length, time, electric current, temperature, luminous intensity, amount of substance, all these are the fundamental quantity. Actually, that means there is a question in your mind, why these are called the fundamental? Actually, fundamental means they are absolutely independent. These quantities doesn't depend upon any other quantities. These quantities can be expressed independently. That's why these quantities are known as the fundamental quantity. There are only the 7 fundamental quantity, and just see here these are the symbol. The fundamental quantity mass, the symbol is m, and the SI unit is your kilogram, which is represented as kg. Similarly, length, the symbol is your L and the unit is your meter. Similarly, time, the symbol is T and represent as second, S. Electric current, the symbol is A or I and the SI unit is your ampere. Temperature, K, Kelvin, unit is your Kelvin. Luminous intensity, the symbol is CD and the unit is candela. In short form, it is written as CD. Amount of substances, the symbol is mole and the SI unit is your mole, MOLE. And dear student, all of you remember while you are writing the unit of electric current and your temperature, you never forget to write A and K are in a capital letter. Why? Because these are the name of the two scientists. A stand for ampere and K stand for Kelvin. These are the name of the two scientists. That's why these are always written in a capital letter. So let's move. Derived quantity. So what is a derived quantity? The quantities which can be derived by using the fundamental quantities are known as the derived quantity. That means they are not independent quantity. They are absolutely depend upon the fundamental quantity to represent themselves. For example, your velocity. Velocity is not an independent quantity. Your acceleration. Acceleration is also not an independent quantity. All these quantities are depends upon the fundamental quantity to represent themselves. That's why they are known as the derived quantity. Except these 7 fundamental quantity, all other quantities are known as the derived quantity. Now let's move. Dimension and dimensional formula, which is very important. Dimension and dimensional formula of any physical quantity. So what is the dimension? Dimension means the power of the fundamental quantity. Actually, what happened? That means among the 7 fundamental quantity, the mass, length and time are known as the base quantity. Base quantity. Why these are known as the base quantity? Because while we are representing the dimension or the dimensional formula of any physical quantity, it is expressed in terms of your mass, length and time. That's why the mass, length and time are known as the base quantity. So while we are writing the dimension of any physical quantity or any quantity, so what is that? These are the powers of the fundamental quantities to express a physical quantity. Suppose for example, I have taken the term is mass. So in mass, is there any length is present? No. In mass, length is absent. Is there in mass there is no time is also present. So in mass only the mass is present. That's why the power of mass is written as here 1 because only the mass is present, and the power of length is written as 0 because there is no length in mass. Similarly, the power of time is also written as 0 because no time is present here. So the dimension of mass is here the power of the fundamental quantity. So what are the powers of the fundamental quantity here? Here 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. These are the power of the fundamental quantity. That means mass, length and time. So the dimension of mass is here 1, 0, 0 in mass, length and time respectively. Suppose anyone tell you to find the dimension of length. So what about the length? In length there is no mass present, only length is present and no time is present. So the dimension of length is your L1. That means you can say 0, 1, 0 in mass, length and time. So what is the dimension? The powers of the fundamental quantity to express that particular quantity. Now come to the next one, dimensional formula. So what is the dimensional formula? Dimensional formula is very important. So dimensional formula is a formula or an expression in terms of the fundamental quantities to represent that particular quantity. It is a formula or an equation in terms of the fundamental quantity to express that physical quantity. Suppose I have taken a term is your velocity. So what's the formula of velocity? The velocity equals to displacement upon time. Displacement upon time. So what is the displacement represent? The displacement represent your length. That's why in case of displacement I represent L and time is your T. So L upon T. So in the next step the length comes to the time comes to the numerator. So the power becomes -1. That's why it becomes L1 T to the power -1. So the dimensional formula of velocity is your L1 T to the power -1. And very important point is that while you are writing the dimensional formula of any physical quantity, these are always expressed in terms of mass, length and time. That means the order is must be likewise mass, length and time. The mass, length and time are always written in a capital letter and with a square bracket. You never forget to put a square bracket. Now come to the next one. Suppose I am taking another term, acceleration. So what's acceleration? Acceleration equals to velocity upon time. So velocity, so dimensional formula velocity is your L T to the power -1 upon time. Time is the fundamental, simply T. So in the next step, the time comes to the numerator, so the power becomes -1. So earlier there is a -1, so -1 plus -1 becomes -2. So finally the dimensional formula of acceleration is L1 T to the power -2 and put a square bracket. So in this way you can find out the dimensional formula of any physical quantity. Always in terms of mass, length and time. Mass, length and time in a capital letter with a square bracket must. Now come to the next. Principle of homogeneity, which is very important. This principle is very important. So what is the principle of homogeneity states that? The principle of homogeneity states that the dimensional formula of every term on both the side of a correct relation must be same. Once again I am repeating. The principle of homogeneity states that the dimensional formula of every term on both the sides of a correct relation must be same. So now let's check. So the question is given to you, V is equals to U plus AT. So you have to check whether this equation is dimensionally correct or incorrect by using the principle of homogeneity. So first we check how many terms are present in that particular equation. So what are the terms? So V is a term, U is another term, and AT is a single term. Never take as A is a term and T is another term. So there are three terms are present. One term is V, then is your U, then is your AT. So we individually check what are the dimensional formula of each and every term present in that particular equation. So first we go for the first term. The dimensional formula of V stands for your velocity. So the dimensional formula of velocity is your m0 L1 t to the power minus 1. Then come to the next one. The dimensional formula of U is your initial velocity. So again m0 L1 t to the power minus 1. Now come to the third term. So what is the third term? The third term is your AT. A stands for your acceleration and T stands for your time period. So this is your m0 L1 t to the power minus 2, and for time this is your t. So finally this is your m0 L1 t to the power minus 1. So let's check. The three terms are here. So V is having m0 L1 t to the power minus 1, U also having m0 L1 t to the power minus 1, and AT is also having m0 L1 t to the power minus 1. So what about the principle of homogeneity? The principle of homogeneity states that if all the terms are having same dimension of formula, then the equation must be correct. So what about this equation? All the terms are having same dimension of formula L1 t to the power minus 1. So the equation is dimensionally correct. This is the conclusion. That means we are checking the equation is absolutely dimensionally correct. Let's move to another example. Check the correctness of the equation T equals to 2 pi G by L square root by using dimensional method. Here T is your time period, and remember all the numerical terms are dimensionless. Whatever may be the terms, all the numerical terms are dimensionless. That means 2 pi is here, no dimensional formula for 2 pi. It is a dimensionless quantity. Then G by L square root. G is your acceleration due to gravity. The acceleration due to gravity and the acceleration both are having the same dimension of formula, and L is your represent your length. So let's first check how many terms are present in that particular equation. So how many terms are present? Here two terms are present. One is your time period and another is your 2 pi G by L square root. So dimensional formula of T. So T is a which type of quantity? T is a fundamental quantity. That's why the dimensional formula of T is T1 or simply T. Then comes the next term. Dimensional formula of 2 pi G by L square root. I already said you all the numerical terms are dimensionless. So here simply put the dimensional formula of G. Acceleration due to gravity. So this is your L1 t to the power minus 2 divided by length L1 square root. So L1 cancel, t to the power minus 2 square root. So minus 2 square root both are cancelled. So this is equals to again t to the power minus 1. So here just watch, the dimensional formula of t is your t to the power 1, but the dimensional formula of 2 pi G by L square root is your t to the power minus 1. That means both the quantities are having different dimensional formula. Since the terms are having different dimensional formula, so the equation is dimensionally incorrect. So next, move to the next part. Unit. So what is unit? Unit is very important thing, because without unit we can identify the quantities. So what is unit? Unit is the standard of measurement of any physical quantity. So by watching the unit, we can identify what is the quantity. So it is the standard of measurement of any physical quantity. Again, units are of two types. One is your fundamental unit, another is your derived unit. So what is the fundamental unit? That means the units that are used to measure the fundamental quantities are known as the fundamental units. There are how many fundamental quantities? There are 7 fundamental quantities. So the units which are used to measure these fundamental quantities are known as the fundamental units. So what are the fundamental units? Your meter, your kilogram, your second, all these are the fundamental units. Let's move to the next one, derived unit. So what about the derived unit? The units that are used to measure the derived quantities are known as the derived units. As you know, there are so many derived quantity. Suppose your velocity meter per second inverse. So this is your one unit. Meter per second inverse 2. This is another unit. Your Newton, your Joule, all these are the units of the derived units. Then system of unit. System of unit is very important. Actually, there are 3 system of units earlier and another system of unit is introduced later. So what are the first 3 system of units? The first 3 system of units is your CGS system, MKS system and FPS system. So in CGS system, the length is measured in a centimeter, the mass is measured in a gram and the time in a second. Similarly, in a MKS system, the length is measured in meter, mass in kilogram and time is in second. Similarly, FPS, the length measured in a foot, mass in pound and time in second. CGS, centimeter, gram, second. MKS, meter, kilogram, second. FPS, foot, pound and second. Then SI system. So that means it is the advanced version of or extended version of MKS system. SI system, in SI system, the 7 fundamental units are there and 2 supplementary units are also there. So what are the fundamental units? I already said you, the mass symbol is M, unit is your kilogram, length is your meter, time is your second, electric current is your ampere, temperature is your Kelvin, luminous intensity candela, amount of substance mole. I already said you. Then come to the supplementary units. So under this SI system there are 2 supplementary units. So what are those? One is your plane angle, the unit is your radian and the representation or the symbol is rad, R-A-D, rad. And another is your solid angle, the unit is your steradian and it is represented as SR. So these are the all about your system of units. Thank you.